It was a moment few inside the Allianz Stadium had anticipated, and even fewer could remember witnessing in a Six Nations fixture. In the midst of Ireland's blistering first-half onslaught against England, referee Andrea Piardi was forced to withdraw from the contest after just 29 minutes, handing control of the match to his assistant in what became one of the afternoon's most surreal subplots, a rare sight in Test rugby referees. Much like players, are elite athletes in their own right. At the highest level of international rugby, officials routinely cover distances comparable to midfielders, accelerating, changing direction, and maintaining proximity to the breakdown to ensure accurate decision-making. Yet it is exceptionally uncommon for a Test referee to be physically unable to continue. That was precisely what unfolded in Twickenham. The Italian official, Andrea Piardi, had overseen a frantic opening to the Six Nations clash between England and Ireland, one defined by relentless tempo and Irish dominance. As Ireland surged forward following a searing break from Josh van der Flier, Piardi suddenly pulled up, clearly in discomfort. Moments later, he signaled to the touchline for assistance. After receiving brief medical attention, he gathered the captains, Maro Itoje for England and Caelan Doris for Ireland, and delivered the unfortunate news. "Guys, it's sad for me to say it, but I'm out," Piardi told them candidly. "My body's gone. Good game." It was a dignified but stark admission. Suspected to be suffering from a hamstring injury, the referee shook hands with both leaders before leaving the field, replaced by French assistant Pierre Brousset. Ireland's rampant opening, the context of Piardi's injury, was the sheer intensity of Ireland's start. England had endured a sluggish opening 30 minutes as Andy Farrell's side established a commanding 22-0 lead. Jamison Gibson-Park struck first in the 19th minute, reacting swiftly to defensive indecision and exploiting a fractured English alignment. His awareness and acceleration typified Ireland's approach. Sharp, decisive, and unrelenting. The pressure did not ease. Baloucoune crossed soon after, capitalizing on slick ball movement that stretched England's defensive edges. Tommy O'Brien followed, finishing clinically as Ireland's backline moved with a fluency that left Twickenham stunned. The pace was breathless. Line breaks, quick taps, rapid recycling at the breakdown. It was rugby played at maximum intensity. For Piardi, keeping up with that tempo proved physically unsustainable. When van der Flier sliced through the English defense shortly after O'Brien's try, Piardi attempted to stay close to the action, only to pull up abruptly. Although Ireland did not convert that particular opportunity into points, the damage, in more ways than one, had already been done. Transition of authority, the switch in officiating was handled smoothly. Pierre Brousset, already primed as assistant referee, assumed control without delay. At elite level, officiating teams prepare extensively for such contingencies, ensuring continuity in communication and decision-making. While rare, the protocol is clear. If a referee cannot continue, the most senior assistant steps in, with the TMO and other officials maintaining support structures. The game resumed with little interruption, though the moment carried a strange air. Twickenham crowds are accustomed to witnessing dramatic player substitutions. Seeing the referee depart under medical distress is an altogether different spectacle. England's brief resurgence, interestingly, the shift in officiating coincided with a subtle swing in momentum. England, trailing heavily and struggling for structure, found some composure late in the first half. Fraser Dingwall crossed on the stroke of halftime, providing the hosts with a measure of relief and trimming Ireland's lead to 22-7 at the interval. The try offered a reminder that despite Ireland's dominance, the contest was not entirely beyond reach. Yet even as England sought renewed energy, the overarching narrative remained Ireland's authority and the unusual departure of the match official. Injury and officiating. A rare but not unprecedented event, though uncommon. Referee injuries at the highest level have occurred before, including on the sport's grandest stage, during the 2023 Rugby World Cup quarterfinal between Wales and Argentina. In France, South African referee Jocko Paper suffered a serious Achilles tendon injury. In that instance, Paper awkwardly leapt to avoid contact with Argentina hooker Julian Montoya and immediately signaled distress. He was assisted from the field and replaced by English official Carl Dixon, who took charge for the remainder of the match. Unlike Piardi's suspected hamstring issue, Paper's injury had far-reaching consequences. At 43 years old, the Achilles rupture ultimately forced his retirement from refereeing. It brought to an end a distinguished career that included 67 test matches and multiple Rugby World Cup appointments. The Paper incident serves as a reminder of the physical demands placed upon modern referees. They operate in increasingly high-speed environments, required to maintain proximity to collisions and breakdowns while avoiding interference with play. The athletic demands of modern refereeing rugby's evolution has elevated expectations not only of players, but also of officials. Today's test matches are faster, with defensive line speed and attacking transitions occurring at extraordinary tempo. Referees must track multi-phase attacks, manage set-piece positioning, and remain within optimal viewing angles for potential infringements to a hamstring injury, particularly one triggered by rapid acceleration or deceleration, is not surprising in such a context. Officials often sprint 40 to 60 meters to follow counterattacks or chase breaks from deep within defensive territory. Piardi's withdrawal highlights the unseen physical preparation that underpins elite officiating. Referees adhere to rigorous conditioning programs. Yet, like any athlete, they remain susceptible to strain. Impact on the match. While the change in referee did not alter the final trajectory of the contest, Ireland ultimately securing a commanding 42-21 victory. It added an unusual dimension to proceedings. Matches at this level hinge on rhythm and interpretation. Different referees may emphasize subtle variations in breakdown management or offside lines, though consistency within officiating teams aims to minimize discrepancies. In Twickenham, the transition appeared seamless. Brousset's stewardship allowed the contest to flow without prolonged disruption. England briefly rallied, but Ireland's structural superiority reasserted itself in the second half. Professionalism and sportsmanship. Perhaps most striking was the professionalism displayed by all involved. Piardi's candid admission to the captains was met with understanding and respect. There was no theatrics, no protracted delay, simply a recognition that physical limitation had intervened. Both Itoje and Doris responded with composure, embodying the sportsmanship expected at international level. The handshake between referee and captains symbolized mutual respect, even amid the high stakes of Six Nations rugby. Broader reflections. Referee injuries prompt broader reflection on workload management and scheduling within international rugby. As the calendar intensifies and competitions grow ever more competitive, ensuring adequate rest and recovery for officials becomes as vital as it is for players. While Piardi's injury appears isolated rather than symptomatic of systemic strain, the episode underscores the athleticism required to officiate at test level. Conclusion: the Six Nations clash between England and Ireland will be remembered primarily for Ireland's emphatic 42-21 triumph and the profound questions it raised about England's direction. Yet within that narrative lies a rare and poignant subplot: the premature departure of referee Andrea Piardi due to injury. In a sport defined by physical resilience, even the officials are not immune to its demands. Piardi's withdrawal was handled with professionalism and dignity, a reminder that referees, too, share in the physical trials of elite rugby. As Ireland celebrated a statement victory and England confronted uncomfortable truths, the image of Piardi leaving the field, shaking hands, acknowledging limitation, and stepping aside, stood as a testament to the human dimension of the game. Rare, unexpected, and momentarily surreal, it was a reminder that in rugby, every participant on the field carries both responsibility and vulnerability.